Hello, and welcome to the 2020 December 6th Vigil, presented by Violence Prevention Grey Bruce, the Women's Center Grey Bruce, Women's House Serving Bruce Grey, Mawikwadong Indigenous Friendship Center, Georgian College, and the Men's Program. My name is John Farmer, and I'm the coordinator of Violence Prevention Grey Bruce and supervisor of the Men's Program. We couldn't gather in person to mark this National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women this year, but we couldn't let the day go by unmarked. Thank you for joining us for this virtual event. As we gather in this way, let us begin by recognizing that no matter where we are in Grey and Bruce counties, we are gathered on land where Indigenous peoples have lived since time immemorial. Grey and Bruce counties sit on the territory of the Three Fires Confederacy that brought together the Odawa, Potawatomi, and Ojibwe nations, represented today by the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation and the communities of Saugeen First Nation and the unceded Chippewas of Nawash. We also recognize the Métis Nation of Ontario. Their long and continuing relationship with this place has much to teach us, and we begin by recognizing that we are all treaty peoples with all the relations and responsibilities that entails. Today's events will include the elements that have become familiar over the past 30 years of December 6th vigils. Drummers from Mawikwadong Indigenous Friendship Center will open and close the space with song. Elder Shirley John will offer an opening prayer. We will hear a reflection on the meaning and history of this day, and will remember the 14 women killed at L'École Polytechnique by name. We will share photos of our previous gatherings, along with a song by Shauna Caspi, and we'll consider where we go from here before the drummers once again close the space. If you are experiencing gender-based violence and need support, please know that there are people and organizations available to help you in Grey Bruce. You can find a list of our member organizations at violencepreventiongraybruce.com. or call 211 for a full list of social services in Grey and Bruce counties. And as always, call 911 if you are in immediate danger. Thanks to representatives of the drum group from Mawikwadong for offering to open the space for us. We turn first to them.
We're going to share with you the Strong Woman song. It's a song about women, strength, and courage. And here, performing the song today is representation from the Women's Drum Circle from Mawikwadong.
Hey,
Miigwech, thank you. As we mark December 6th as the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women, we remember not only the women who died on December 6th, 1989 in Montreal, but all women hurt and killed in our communities and country, including missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. We'll turn now to Elder Shirley John, who will offer an opening prayer.
Miigwech, thank you, Carrie Shute and Committee, Georgian College Owen Sound, for asking me to take part in the vigil December 6, 2020. 31 years ago, 14 women died at the Montreal massacre. My prayer. Anishinaabe version of the 23rd Psalm. Father, guardian of the earth and heavens, along with all things, I am your creation. You are the tree of life. I am a branch. Flowering, Chimiigwech, thank you, I am contented. The marvels, the natural elements you have made, I am in wonder and reverence about them. Through your love and guidance, you give me a precious vine to hold on to. It is the thread of life to follow. It leads me satisfied amongst the fragrant meadows and calm waters. It is you who has provided the fruits of life, and I am happy. You provide my sustenance, nourishment from the land, the waters, and the air. I am blessed. I give Miigwech, thank you for all. I am satisfied. My bowl is plenty. You are the spirit at the center of our being. With you I am strong, my heart good. Sometimes it is not easy, this life's road. Sometimes I fall tested. You give me strength and direction to carry on, to pursue a path of Minnowimadzuin, the good life, and to care for others. Life is but a part of the cycle, a beginning and the end. As with all things, I know I must leave behind this earthly life, family and friends, entering another journey to the spirit world. That I shall travel with no fear. You are with me, now, then, and forever. Bad times come with the good, but good will prevail. I speak from my heart. I have done my best to follow the good path, ready for the next journey. I am prepared. It is then, in the great heavenly lodge, in the heavens, rejoicing with relatives, with a pride in the life living, that I'll humbly present myself, Spirit Father in heaven, as on earth forever. The roses, the red represents the love they had for us then and now. The white, they lived in this physical world with us. Black, they are rejoicing in the spirit world with our ancestors and cheering us on till we meet again. Pamapiguatman. We'll see you later. Shirley John, Ojibwe Mohawk from Sagin First Nation, strong white buffalo woman. Miigwech, 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 Miigwech. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Miigwech.
Thank you, Shirley. And to share a reflection on the history of December the 6th, we will now hear from Carrie Shute from Georgian College.
31 years ago on December 6 in 1989, 14 women were killed at L'École Polytechnique in Montreal. They were employees and students of the school, and they were murdered because they were women. In the days after the shooting, communities across Canada came together to hold vigils in memory of the women killed and to stand in solidarity against the hatred and violence that ended their lives. 1 year later, in 1990, our communities stood together in solidarity and remembrance again. And in 1991, the Government of Canada officially established December 6 as a National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. The 14 women murdered in Montreal on December 6, 1989 were not the first women to be killed because of their sex, gender, or to be targeted with violence for pursuing their dreams in areas that were not traditionally, where women were traditionally not welcome. They were also not the last. In the 31 years since their deaths, women have continued to be targeted in private and public ways. Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirited people have been murdered and gone missing by the thousands across Canada. Between 1989 and 2019, we know of more than 780 femicides in Ontario alone. The Toronto van attack in 2018 was motivated by the hatred of women. The mass shooting in Nova Scotia earlier this year began with the assault of an intimate partner. We mark December 6th again this year because violence against women and gender-based violence continue in our communities and in our country. As long as violence continues, we will stand against it, and we must continue to stand against it until everyone is safe and free to live life without violence. Now, on the anniversary of their deaths, we remember the lives of the 14 women killed at L'École Polytechnique.
Sonia Pelletier. Anne-Marie Lemay. Michel Richard. Anne-Marie Edward. Maryse Leclerc. Maryse Lagagnère. Annie Turcotte. Barbara Maria Klusnik. Barbara Dagneau. Annie Saint-Arnaud. Nathalie Croteau. Hélène Colgan. Maude Avernic. Geneviève Bergeron.
Thank you to Sonia Ostertag for reading the names today. In the past, when we have gathered in person, we have laid a rose in memory of each of the 14 women. We have also laid a 15th rose in memory of all of the women and girls who have been hurt or killed because of their sex or gender. We remember all of those people today. We continue to mark December the 6th because violence against women has not ended over these 31 years. It has continued. It is continuing. And it takes many forms, from physical violence to emotional, mental, sexual, and economic violence. Violence against women is evident at the personal and the systemic levels, within relationships, within communities, in our workplaces, in our governments, and in our economy. Today we acknowledge and we say again that the more a person is marginalized, the more at risk they are of experiencing violence. On December the 6th, we remember 14 women with white privilege, with access to higher education. We grieve their loss. We proclaim the injustice of their murders. And we also need to ask ourselves whether our nation would have responded with so much solidarity if these women had been Black, Indigenous, or people of color. Whether we would know their names if they were trans or queer, disabled or living in poverty. Today we remember, but we must also take action. There is work that each of us can do to dig out the roots of violence against women. We can name and address the beliefs that make violence possible. Beliefs of misogyny, sexism, patriarchy, and white supremacy. We can name it where we see it, in victim blaming, in stereotypes, in common terms of phrase, in the storybooks, movies, and music that fill our lives, in policy, in the decisions of our communities and of our governments. We know that the vast majority of violence against women is perpetrated by men. And for that reason, violence against women is not a woman's problem. It is a men's problem. It is a collective problem. And men have an important role to play in ending that violence against women. We can begin this work by examining our own beliefs and being accountable for our own behavior. How do we teach the boys in our lives to treat girls and women? How do we treat the women and girls in our lives as role models for boys, for our friends, and for our family? How do we hold our leaders accountable when they perpetuate the harmful ideas and behaviors that lead to violence against women? How do we challenge political and policy decisions that further expose women and girls to violence? These questions are larger than we can answer today. There are questions that demand that we ask ourselves throughout the year how we can respond and what we can do as individuals. We received permission from Toronto-based singer-songwriter Shauna Caspi to share one of her songs in today's video. She joined us several years ago to perform it, and while it plays, you'll see images from some of our previous vigils as a reminder of the power that happens when we gather. We'll be able to gather again, but for now we offer this song as an opportunity to reflect. It's called Not So Silent.
For the sisters who are stolen and the missing person files, the stories unreported that never go to trial, for the names that are ignored by a country in denial, we are louder than them. For the daughters who have disappeared when they stood to disobey, when life that's lived in freedom is a threat to some old way, the sentence is cut short when there is so much more to say. We are louder than them, and we will not be silent, and we will not be shamed, and we will not sit still and bend our will in honor's name. We don't come for permission, there are no warning shots. We are the voices that call out for those who cannot. Neighbors warned, don't walk alone down streets we thought we knew. And suddenly we're reckless, and the consequences due to the men who just can't help themselves and the courts who wave them through. We are louder than them. to the officer who looked at her and said she was to blame. The woman charged in self-defense when the judge denied her claim. The history that haunts us and the fear that never goes away. We are louder than them. And we will not be silent, and we will not be shamed, and we will not sit still and bend our will in honor's name. Don't come for permission. There are no warning shots. We are the voices that call out for those who cannot. There are no isolated incidents. We are not isolated innocents. It's more than just coincidence, and we are louder. It's urgency that drives us, and mercy that survives us. It's her and him and I and us, and we are louder. Oh, we are louder than them. We are louder. We are louder than them. So let's choose change to counter danger. Love the company we keep. Rise to those who challenge us and dare to call us weak. When equality has fallen from the language that they speak, we are louder than them. And we will not be silent, we will not be shamed, and we will not sit still and bend our will in honor's name. Don't come for permission. There are no warning shots. We are the voices that call out for those who cannot. We are the voices that call out for those who cannot. We are the voices that call out for those who cannot.
Thanks to Shauna Caspi for allowing us to share that song again. And thank you to all of the individuals and organizations who helped to make today possible, including Women's House Serving Bruce and Grey, the Women's Center Grey Bruce, Georgian College, Mawikwadong Indigenous Friendship Center, the Men's Program, and Violence Prevention Grey Bruce. Thanks as well to all of you who took the time to watch this video. As we work to create a community and a world free of violence for all people, events like this are necessary. When we don't gather to remember or raise our voices together, it becomes harder to gather and act. We'll hear again now from representatives of Mawikwadong's drum group to send us on our way. Take care, stay safe, and please know that there is help available right here in Grey Bruce if you need support.
This is the travel song, a song to honor all peoples on their journeys.